Hey folks, I have some quick comments on the quiz. Overall, I thought the last two questions were good. People seem to trip over the first questions. So let me talk a little bit more about realism and relativism, right? So realism is the ontological view that at least one thing exists, maybe more things, but at least one thing exists that is completely independent of what we think or believe about it, right? So some people are realists about physical things like planets. I think that would be most of us, right? We believe in the planets and the sun and the stars. Most of us are also realists about mental things, right? You think that emotions are real. So if you're angry, you're really angry. It's not just a figment of your imagination or a matter of opinion. Um, there's, of course, ethical realism, which we've talked about. You can be an ethical realist by being a divine command theorist. So good and evil, right and wrong, these are all grounded in the will of the divine. Or perhaps you can be an ethical realist by saying that nature has taken care of that for us and we need to simply follow our urges and instincts and we will achieve the morally real. You could also be an aesthetic realist. You could say things like, the Rembrandt in the museum is actually beautiful and he is actually a talented artist. And if you do not recognize that, then you need more education in art, right? There is such a thing as great art. There is such a thing as beauty. Sunsets are truly beautiful, and beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. You just need to come to understand the art, and then you will recognize beauty. Relativists say the opposite. So if you were a relativist about planets, right, about the physical world, you would say that whether or not there are planets is a matter of opinion, right? There is no truth of the matter as to whether or not there are planets. It's just what human beings construct, fabricate our theoretical web. Likewise, if you're a relativist about emotions, right? Maybe Sam thinks that he's angry, and so Sam is angry for Sam, but if I perceive his anger as happiness, then for me, Sam is happy. And there is no fact of the matter. It's all a matter of my perception and my conceptualization. Ethical relativism we have met, right? Good and evil are completely up to the perception and conception of the individuals or the culture. Some cultures believe that it's okay to pour out a little liquor at a funeral as a sign of respect for the dead. Other cultures think that that is disrespectful and that there should not be liquor at all at a funeral. Aesthetic relativism is very common, right? Most people will claim that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? You like country music, I like rap, so rap is good for me and country music is good for you, and we don't have to reconcile that because what's beautiful to me is beautiful to me, it's beautiful to you is beautiful to you, and never the twain shall meet. So we can see that realism is attractive in some ways and relativism is attractive in some ways. And also I want to point out that you can mix and match a bit. So most of us are in fact realists about the planets or about whether or not there's a black hole at the center of the galaxy. And most of us tend to be relativists about whether cake is better than pie or pie is better than cake. Right? So we tend to gravitate toward realism in some ways as a culture, as a people, and relativism in other ways, right? The worry comes about when someone says, yeah, I'm going to be a hardcore relativist about everything, about the physical world, about the mental world, about ethics, about aesthetics. Everything is in the eye of the beholder. Everything is a matter of opinion. Now here's the clincher. If someone says that everything is a matter of opinion, what they are saying is that it is true that there is no truth, right? So if it's true that everything is a matter of opinion, then there is one thing that is not a matter of opinion, which is that everything is a matter of opinion. So relativists tend to collapse into realism if they get too extreme. So I want people to be aware that you can't just blow off these questions as like, oh, well, different people have different views on this. You know what? We know. But we need to do better than just dismiss the question as unanswerable, because if we do that, we'll collapse into this relativistic paradox. Talk to you soon.